Hello everybody and welcome to episode number 53, I believe, of Ironhammers Live, your weekly PC gaming podcast being broadcast live every single Tuesday here on Twitch TV/Ironhammers at 11 o'clock with inverted commas. You know how it is. My name anyway is Bobby Goodin, and as many of you know, I'm also known throughout the online realm as Ironhammers. Says it right there somewhere. And joining me today, as you may be able to see, with our new split screen format, because we're all cool, Mr. Hardly Dan. How the hell are you, man?
I'm pretty good, man. How the hell are you, sir?
I'm not bad at all. I'm doing pretty damn well, man. Have you been up to anything exciting this week?
No.
The short answer. The short answer. I see you have some nice cider there, though, Dan.
I do indeed.
Has it all gone?
Tasty side. No, I've got a fresh bottle.
Show everybody your red cider. Do you think they would like to see it? Fire dancer.
I need to. I shall show it to the camera when I pour some later. But this is damn good cider.
And the colour certainly sticks in line with the name.
Yeah, it wouldn't know. It's more like Iron Brew than.
It's got that orangey kind of glow to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like around the campfire material.
Yeah, indeed.
It looks good to me anyway.
People in the chat room that want to know how strong it is. It's not a very strong cider. It's only 4.5% by volume.
4.5%, which means you can drink twice as much.
Yes.
That's what I use those numbers for. It's like a measuring scale. How much of this one can I drink before I pass out?
There's the colour for the people in the chat room.
Yep, that's beautiful stuff.
I won't be drinking it from this glass because, well, it's a wine glass or a cider glass.
Oh, and if you're listening to the MP3 version of the show, you're missing out on this kind of stuff, man. Very much so. But what you're also missing out on is what we're actually here for, which is to talk about PC games, isn't it, man?
Oh, is that? Oh, right. Oh, crap.
We were here an hour ago to talk about that kind of stuff, and now we're here. We've got some rather interesting stuff going on. Something's been going on with Razer, which our question of the week this week is all about. So head on over to the website if you haven't answered that yet, and get your answer. And if you're listening live, you've got no excuse. If you're not listening live, then do it next week.
I've had a shave.
You've had a shave?
Yeah.
You could have
got news with Razer and I've had a shave.
Well. Maybe that's the conspiracy. That's what this is all about.
Yep.
You've signed a marketing deal, haven't you, Dan?
I have indeed. I wish I had. I'd get some money.
That would be nice, man. That would be very, very nice. In the meantime, let's talk about some PC gaming news, which I should have a little clip for. But believe it or not, with all the messing around, I don't have it, unless I remove you, which I will do.
Go on then. I see pain.
Okay, man. So this week we've got 2 news stories each for you guys, as we bring to you, usually when there's 2 of us, sometimes 3 if there's 3 of us, because everything goes on for longer if there's 3 of us. And next week, I will note right now that we will be joined not only by Dan, hopefully, if he's around.
Oh yeah, sure, no worries.
But also Tyler will be joining us once again. You may have seen him on the show before, because he's actually at PAX Prime this weekend. So he's going to come and he will be talking about all the stuff that he's seen there, including this strange Razer announcement that we'll talk off in just a second. But before that, you've got another little story, haven't you, Dan?
Yeah, well, I don't. It's been going off on Twitter actually a hell of a lot today, but I broke the news last night, just before my power went off, and it's really quite a touching little bit of gaming news here. I'm just going to pop the link up in the chat room, assuming that I haven't. No, that's London Zoo. Never mind. Yeah, the fantastic chap has basically came up with this idea. A chap called Gary Hudston decided he was going to propose to his now gaming fiancée via the means of Portal 2.
What better way to do it?
Exactly, and I don't know if you've seen the video, but I don't know why, but it did actually choke me up towards the end. It is fantastic. He got this guy from the mod community to design a level. They even got I've forgotten her name. What's her name that plays GLaDOS? Ellen McLean. To do some voiceover work for it, and Valve were involved. And the level design is fantastic. I'd love to play it, even though I know how to do it now. But it's fantastic. It's really great, and the amount of work this guy put into his proposal just makes me feel like a muppet for the lame-ass ways I've proposed to people in the past.
Does the proposal be interpreted by the other person in such an amazing way, though?
I imagine so, because apparently she's a real gamer, loves Portal, and it's fantastic. You've got to watch that video. I think I've popped it in the link.
There is a link in the chat room,
and I'm sure you'll be popping it in the show notes.
I can do that
for our listeners.
And I'm sure if you go to Google and just type in Portal proposal,
yeah, that'll work.
It'll probably appear right at the very top. I've seen it covered on loads of gaming websites today, but I've only had my phone with me, and I've never actually got around to watching it, I guess.
It's fantastic, but you really need to do it justice. You need to put it on YouTube in full screen 1080p, and it's beautiful. Really beautiful bit of coding and a fantastic way to propose to someone.
Awesome stuff.
Take note, gamers. You don't have to just put a ring in a glass of champagne, and hope they choke on it.
Bright red cider.
Yeah. Now that's a classy way of doing it, man.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got me there. Anyway, something else that could be quite classy happening at PAX, which I'm pretty keen to let Tyler go and check out for us, is this whole Razer fiasco, which is, as I mentioned, what the question of the week is about this week. And there's been something a little strange going on at Razer. The other day, a random website launched called PC Gaming Is Not Dying, or is not dead.com, sorry.
Yeah.
PC Gaming Is Not Dead.com. And it kind of had a weird kind of V for Vendetta kind of voice going on.
Yeah.
Talking about how there's 300 million PC gamers in the world and how we need to stand up against the closed platforms of the consoles and show them that an open gaming environment is not only an ideal but is also a reality. I think were the words they used, which is pretty damn true, and something I've been preaching for a long time. So there's all that, and then it kind of come out on another website a week or so ago that they had an announcement planned for the 23rd of August, which is this Saturday. And then after making that website, they took out a massive full-page spread in the Wall Street Journal Global Edition to send a letter which was addressed to the consoles. And for people's benefit who haven't got it, or maybe they're listening on a iPod or something and they can't check it out right now, I'll actually read it to you in full. A little bit of a treat here. It says, "To our friends Xbox, PlayStation and Wii, we have all heard the rhetoric about the demise of PC gaming, the stories that console gaming will take over all gaming, and that PC gamers will be left with shoddy ports of console titles. The rumours of our untimely demise have been greatly exaggerated. We are more than 300 million PC gamers worldwide, and this legion is growing every day. Today, there are more PC gamers than all console gamers combined, and we have been silent in the face of the closed gaming systems that we have propagated. We, the PC gamers, have been here since the beginning and have seen the industry grow to surpass movies and music, and we look forward to an open world where console and PC gamers will stand side by side as gamers in arms. We are here today to tell you that on the 26th of August, we will seek to end the silence and bring a new age of openness and innovation to all gaming. Together, we shall remind you that PC gaming is not dead. GLHF, Razer, for the PC gamers of the world." That's a nice little letter, isn't it, man?
Yeah, I'm hoping they're going to send me a load of stuff, and that's what's going to keep me PC gaming.
That could work. Keep me happy. Although I'm pretty happy with PC gaming at the moment.
Yeah, I am.
But everyone seems to believe that it's going to be the reveal of this new Switchblade thing at the moment. This little laptop, screeny, weird mini device that they've got that plays World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I'll be a bit
doesn't
miffed
just
if it
play
is.
World of Warcraft. Yeah. Because and I've also seen on another website that they likened this announcement to the unveiling of the first Switchblade, which makes me believe that it could be something different. But as I said, our question of the week is all about what you think this might be about, and ultimately what you would love it to be about. If it could be anything, what would you like it to be? So as I said before, if you're listening live, you haven't answered it yet, ironhammers.org, find the question of the week, leave a comment, and we'll read them out later. The next bit of news, Dan, this is another one that I haven't seen myself just yet,
Oh yeah, it's me again, isn't it?
It is you again, Dan.
Well, this is kind of a three-parter because BioWare have been in the news a fair bit recently. I say the news, the PC gaming news, obviously. And I'm going to start off with an article going from The Escapist saying that EA are controlling the Old Republic player population for launch. Whether or not they can't actually handle the servers, or they're just trying to feed it out to people and see the reviews and whatever, almost doing it almost like an open beta, but you're buying it, which seems a little strange. Mm-hmm. So they're doing that. Which I don't know. That just for me that doesn't give me confidence in the game. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that one. Like
it's
not like really worried as in for the game as a whole, but I'm kind of really worried for how it's going to go after the game's released. I'm sure there'll be some really good content there, and I'm sure it'll be all right. But I'm not sure how long it's going to last. That's what I'm worried about. Are they going to get a community behind them? And when they do, will they support the community to keep them playing, because that's what an MMO is about at the end of the day.
Well, the next bit of worrying BioWare news is that VP Greg Zeschuk, I've got no idea how you pronounce that, he told VG 24/7 that RPGs are and always have been their bread and butter, but they are becoming less relevant in today's market. Now, I think
they've shown that already, haven't they?
Well, they have with the dumbing down of all their RPGs.
To put it bluntly, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I for one, and I know a lot of people that absolutely hate what they've been doing to their series and making them... Mass Effect 2 wasn't quite so bad, but, I'd like an RPG to be in-depth and have convoluted controls, because once you master them, there's so much more you can do. And BioWare...
Yeah, and like you say, Mass Effect 2 not being so bad, I've said it before myself, and I think that the simplification that they put into Mass Effect works better with Mass Effect, whereas Dragon Age 1 felt like a real proper RPG.
Yeah, and Dragon Age 2 was just far too simple.
Exactly, for that type of... It's the setting and everything as well, when it all mixes in, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, for me it wasn't just... I did like the action sequences and the fighting. That felt okay on the 360 pad at least. But when it came down to simple things like conversations with people, it was far too easy to actually get the desired result out of them. And it just seemed like there was a right answer and a wrong answer, and if you were slightly right, it didn't matter, you were still right. There wasn't that much depth in it. Yeah. And... that brings me on to the third bit of slightly worrying BioWare news, which is about Mass Effect 3. And I've loved the Mass Effect series, and I'm really excited about Mass Effect 3. But apparently, Mass Effect 3 is going to be a completely standalone story. And if you're new to the series, it makes no difference.
Really?
Mass Effect 1 and 2 will provide you with more in the way of content, but you can just pick up Mass Effect 3 and pretty much... there it is. It's an Invasion of Earth story that stands alone, and that's it's just... no, I don't want that, BioWare. I don't want that. I want all the hours I've put into Mass Effect 1 and 2 to pay it off, and to actually make it so that you need to have played the first two games to actually get the best, get anything out of this game, not just a bit of it, anything. And I think that's a bad marketing ploy for them, because people are just going to pick up Mass Effect 3 that haven't played the first two. If you made it so that Mass Effect 3 came out and is amazing, but you really have to have played the first two first to... I don't know what's going on. It'd have been fantastic. They'd have sold loads. Well, Game and Game Station, loads of other places have made a shitload of money on pre-owned sales, obviously. So perhaps that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not happy with BioWare.
I just think that they're definitely showing that they're looking for a new market, and by making it standalone, that's kind of backing up what we've been kind of saying for a little while now. Yeah. Which is quite disappointing, I guess.
I wouldn't be surprised if the trilogy ends up being a quadrilogy with a Mass Effect first-person shooter.
I saw an interview the other day with one of the team. It was from Gamescom, which was going on this week. I'm sure everyone's aware that Gamescom was going on this week. Maybe some of the US guys don't follow the big European conventions so much. but there was an interview from somebody at Gamescom, and he was saying that there will be more Mass Effect after this, and that there'll probably just be different stories with different characters. Like, this is the Shepard saga, almost. Which is okay, but wait for Mass Effect, the next one, before you start making it a whole new story.
I seem to have kind of kicked off a little storm in the chat room here, so I thought I might read out some of the comments, if that's all right with you. No, we don't normally do that, but Superstar is saying that it's completely ruined Mass Effect 3 for her. Is there any point in it being called Mass Effect 3? And good old Simon D. Ivanov says, that sucks. It should be 100% inaccessible to people who have not played Mass Effect 1 or Mass Effect 2. It should just not turn on.
Nice one.
That would be fantastic. I'd love it if, like
if you can't detect
try out a Eurogame, you had to take a memory card.
With a save file on it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Which brings me to another quick point about playing games at conventions. I had an email from Valve earlier confirming that Counter-Strike Global Offensive will be playable at Gamescom on the Xbox 360. Not Gamescom, sorry, PAX Prime on the Xbox 360. But if you want to check out the PS3 version, go to Eurogamer. Fuck you, Valve.
Well, I got an email from Bethesda saying that... actually, no, it wasn't from Bethesda. It was from Tom Champion at Eurogamer, saying that if you happen to be going to Eurogamer, you get to have a go on Skyrim a month early.
You do.
Oh, I can't wait to have a go on
Rage will be there too, man. I think was the other one that was announced by them.
Yeah.
I'm looking
but that actually comes out before.
Please have it on the PC though, because if Valve was showing Counter-Strike on the PlayStation, that's just terrible, man, for me. And I understand that they've already said it's like kind of a 360 based game, and people are saying that not a 360 based game, but it was made for the consoles, kind of, really. Like, they were saying it's not the next Counter-Strike as such, the next real Counter-Strike, I guess. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but and other people are arguing that because we're going to be getting a full beta on the PC and the consoles aren't, that people can see it there who won't get to play it on a beta beforehand. So at least we'll kind of get to play it at home on our own computers instead. But it's still not good for me. There's one less game I'm going to want to play at Eurogamer now, because I'm not playing an FPS on a console.
There's going to be plenty of other stuff there.
There will be plenty to keep me busy, man. There'll be plenty to keep me busy. But yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment. But that wasn't my final piece of news, by the way. That was just a quick interjection, because there's something else that's happened today. It developed late hours of last night, if I'm correct.
Yeah. And that something I was going to talk about it, but you got it in there first.
Got to be quick, man. Be quick or be dead. Ubisoft, the wonderful, wonderful Ubisoft. Have decided. I don't know if anybody's heard. Just let me explain in case anybody hasn't heard. Ubisoft went ahead and decided that From Dust on the PC was going to have need to be activated online every single time you play it, basically. I don't think it was the actual always online deal that they had before, but it required an activation every single time you played. But they said on their forums that it was a one-time activation, which everybody, obviously, I don't know if I said one-time activation to you, Dan, how would you take that?
I would take that as you install it, you run it, it activates, and that's it.
That's what I would take it as. Which
Not
is
one time every time you bloody play it.
No, because that's more than one time, isn't it? Exactly. Maybe one time per computer is fair, one time per install. That's all good. So that's what everyone expected, and then when it released, it turned out to be different. People weren't very happy. The PC port was apparently a bit shoddy anyway, and people got up in arms about it. But today, they decided they were going to remove the DRM completely, so there's no DRM whatsoever on From Dust. But the patch is going to take 2 weeks to come out. They did give a reason. There's an article on Ironhammers if you want to check out their quotes and the actual forum post itself. But they're saying that they will make sure that everybody can still use their cloud saves or something before they make a patch. They don't want people to lose them. I don't know. So, but doesn't it seem rather convenient that they're always doing this strange stuff with their DRM, because it's obviously about piracy. Like, you don't.
Oh, of course.
DRM,
you don't put
is
DRM
nothing
in
else.
if you're not worried about piracy.
Exactly. And 2 weeks after launch is kind of the pirate's window anyway,
Yeah.
if you kind of see what I mean. After 2 weeks, nobody's going to be going and downloading from Dust. So it seems like a rather convenient way to try and score some points by removing it and get some good press. But they've already overcome their goal in the first place. I don't know.
One thing I will say about From Dust is it is a good game, but it is overpriced.
Fair play, man. We actually posted a full review on Ironhammers earlier today. So
I haven't read that actually. Was it similar gist as to what I just said?
It said it's a really good game, basically.
But it's overpriced.
But not that it was overpriced, but that the PC problems really let it down.
Yeah.
The DRM, of course, was one issue. There's like no graphical options whatsoever.
No.
There's a 30 frames per second limit for some reason, like an artificial limit. I don't know why.
I can't see it actually really needing, 60 frames per second or anything. It's a fairly simple game. It's not like you're playing some kind of...
which is fair, but we don't buy these big old chunky PCs to play games at 30 frames per second,
True,
if they can just turn that setting off, it off, like, it's just silly. But yeah, there was those issues, but apart from that, apparently it was a really, really good game. Oh, and apparently the controls, because a lot of people are complaining of the controls on the 360 version, but apparently the PC controls are really bad.
I thought they were fine.
Because Yannick, who did the review for us, so I haven't actually played it myself, but I'm going from what he's told me. He said he had to turn his mouse settings as low as he possibly could just to be able to keep control over it, because it was like just really weird. It just wasn't ported very well at all, apparently. Apart from that, it's apparently a very good game, and they're removing the DRM in 2 weeks, but I'm not so sure as to the real reasons behind that. But the big thing is, if this is a decision by them, is it just because they made a cock up on their forums in the past because they said that it wouldn't have any online activation, or have they kind of seen the light? And I guess we'll find out with their next releases what they do. I mean, Driver is coming up soon. I did play the demo of that actually. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
I'd like to think of it as the win for PC gamers in general, because a huge shitstorm got thrown up as a result of the DRM on it, which for I'd go so far as to call it an A title, not a AAA title. It's pretty good going, It's basically a budget title, It's like 15 quid. And so much of a storm went off over it. I think that's fantastic, and I'd like to think that, everyone that complained had a little bit of a force behind them changing the DRM.
Let's hope so.
In my rose-tinted world.
We can but hope. We can but hope. But that brings us to the end of our news this week anyway. That was quite a good news piece this week, man. We had a few news
not
stories.
bad, considering
last week was just like, what are we going to talk about? It was just like nothing. It was just a loss. But in the meantime, while we take this quick break now, we're going to play you some music. As anybody who was here before the show actually started will know, we were a little bit rushed and I was a little bit late. I literally walked into my house at about 5 minutes to 11 and turned my computer on and started streaming, and I was just like, we have nothing ready. Because I hadn't been at home since a couple of days back. So
I didn't even get the show notes until gone 11.
But we're making a go of it nonetheless. So this week we've got some music from Van Gogh, because we've played them before. You see me wearing the t-shirt before. Great band, video game, progressive rock, which I love. And you can try and guess which game it's from if you like in the chat room.
You could win a prize.
What could they win if they guess it right?
They could win a free copy of Team Fortress 2.
Free copy of Team Fortress 2. However, you will need to install Steam to get that. That is a caveat of the deal. Apart from that, it's yours. In fact, we could just give everybody one.
Yeah, we could do.
Either way, see if you can guess what this song is, and we'll be right back in around about 3.5 minutes. See you soon, guys. Hey, welcome back, people. I hope you enjoyed that, because I certainly did. Did you hear any of that one, Dan?
I heard a bit of it, yeah.
Any ideas on what game it might have been from?
I think it may have been for something I haven't played.
It may well have been, and I think that Simon should have got it, as you noted in the chat room there.
Yeah, I think it was Mega Man, wasn't it?
It was Mega Man! You got it!
Yeah.
Nice
Only
one.
because I've heard so much music from Mega Man.
Who wouldn't want to? Who wouldn't want to? Awesome stuff.
The Megas are fantastic.
The
Listen to
Megas
them
are
quite a
awesome,
bit.
man. They are
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, definitely check them out. And check Mango out. Who just played
Team
that?
Fortress too.
Nobody, unfortunately.
No.
Super Stardust tried to do the old trick where you call the number up and see if it will tell you what song it is, but it didn't work apparently.
Nah, Shazam's
That's a
not going to
shame.
get that.
And a little secret for you people: during the break, I spilt Mountain Dew all over myself. So yeah,
At least it wasn't man juice.
thank God it wasn't. Yeah, that's just certainly a plus to the situation. Indeed, but I don't think it shows on camera, so I think it's okay. Although I revealed it to the world nonetheless. I'm an honest guy. Would you like to talk about what we've been playing this week, Dan?
Not really, but I suppose I'm going to have to.
Just play that little intro type thing, because I can never find them, man. Never. There we go. So, would you like to kick it off this week, Dan?
Oh, that makes a change.
You've got a pretty hefty list there, man, so take it away.
I've been playing a fair bit of stuff on my PC. There's a couple that I've played on my Xbox, admittedly. I'll get rid of them first. I played the Driver San Francisco demo, which I believe you
that's
played
on
as
my
well.
list as well, so we can have a conversation about that. How did you find it?
I only played the single player demo. I kind of enjoyed it.
I think there only is
but
a
it
single player
seemed-
demo.
No, there's a multiplayer as well on the 360. I know you've got the lesser console.
I did play it on the PS3, I will admit that. I didn't play on the PC because, believe it or not, it's made by, developed by Ubisoft Revolution? I can't
Some
remember
kind
the
of
name.
embargo going on
Some
there.
little kind of thing with Ubisoft. No, well, it is a kind of embargo in a way, I guess. Yeah, an embargo on PC demos, apparently, so
Yeah.
I had to play it on the PS3. But did you enjoy it at all? Did you think it was... I thought it was weird.
Once I got used to the having to use the handbrake to power slide, which I thought was a bit weird because
Otherwise the
actually
car
being
goes
able to drive.
straight, doesn't it?
Yeah, the handling seems a bit weird, but I guess it's more arcadey than simish.
And it is based in America, and there are a few American cars,
Yeah.
and I believe they don't go around corners very well.
Well, yeah, exactly, and it is also
that.
based in someone's subconscious. So
I guess it is. But yeah, it's really strange, isn't it, man? The whole the switching between cars thing. I mean, you don't see an awful lot of it in the demo, do you? But the story behind it, which is kind of the thing I was most interested in about the game, is that he is literally jumping into other people's bodies, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it, and the mechanic behind the kind of jumping into other people's bodies works okay.
Yeah, it works.
But yeah, it was the handling more than anything. It just didn't
It
feel
didn't
real
nice.
at
For
all.
a game that's called Driver, the driving wasn't very nice at all.
And having played previous Driver titles, when again they'd taken me a while to get my head around the driving because it was more realistic than I expected, this was kind of like dumbing down.
Totally, man.
So yeah, I don't know if it's going to be on my list to buy, but I might give it. I'll see what the multiplayer demo's like and get back to you next week.
Yeah, I don't think I would buy it after what I've seen, man. The story, for anybody who's not aware, is kind of the mission that you play if you haven't played the demo, seeing as it's not a PC one, and a lot of you guys do play on PC.
This being a PC gaming
The
podcast.
first mission, you're kind of trying to get your friend to believe that you can jump into other people's bodies, basically, aren't you, man? And you kind of have to, you're like, oh, I can totally jump into that guy's body, basically, and he's like, prove it. I think the mission's even called Prove It. And,
Yeah, it is.
You're like, okay, well, let's see if this guy does some crazy stuff. So then you take over this other guy in a little sports car, and you have to jump over like a tow truck thing. Not a tow truck, like a, what do they call, like a vehicle carrying type...
Transporter.
Transporter, that's the word I want. You have to jump off one of those, and they're like, oh yeah, he's crazy anyway. So you're like, what if he gets into some trouble with some cops? And then you take him over again.
Get in trouble anyway.
Yeah, and you jump into a cop, smash into a cop car with the other guy and do this. And he's like, oh, he was going to do that anyway. So in the end, you say, right, I bet by the time they catch him, he's attached to a tow truck, and then you have to take him over again and go and attach him to a tow truck, and then your buddy's like, oh shit, I totally believe you now. You're jumping into other people's bodies. It's kind of weird. And the driving really is kind of weird too.
But really easy as well.
I found it hard to get my head around the driving because it was that bad. I just couldn't turn corners. Like, the cars just would not turn fast enough.
I adapted fairly quickly.
If you adapt to using the handbrake, which is what I figured out you kind of needed to do, then it's a little bit easier because you just can slide around corners. But otherwise, it
took me ages to figure out there's boost.
Oh, and there's a boost as well. There is a boost.
Yeah, you click in the left thumbstick and you can boost. That's just completely wrong. You want it to be on A.
Is it clicking the thumbstick on the 360?
Yeah.
On the PlayStation, it's push the thumbstick up, which is still weird because
you're trying that was it. Push the thumbstick up.
Is it that on the 360? Yeah. And you kind of push it up, but then you want to change direction, and then you can't boost and change direction at the same time.
With the whole nature of a thumbstick, you push it up, and then you're limited. It limits how far you can move the thumbstick left and right, doesn't it?
Totally. Which I thought was weird as well. I thought it needed to be on a button. That is right. And playing with a PlayStation controller, I just still can't get my hands around them things properly. They never quite feel right.
No, the only controller that I like is this one.
He's got his 360 controller there.
Yeah. Actually, no, there's another one I really like, which leads me nicely into the other game I've been playing on my 360, which uses this. The old Dangerous Hunts 2011.
There, man.
I love this gun. The game is fantastic. I know it's a PC gaming podcast, but I can't get enough of Dangerous Hunts 2011. It's so much fun. Mates around, a few beers, shooting animals, doesn't get better. But coming on to the PC gaming, I've gone back to a bit of Civ 5, which it's a fantastic game. And if you missed the sale on Steam when it was almost nothing, more fool you. I think it came down to like a tenner or something. It's back up to £30 now. But it's a fantastic game still. I love it. You know, the old turn-based strategy games, great fun. And when you play it online, you and the other people that are playing take the same time to take the turns.
Yeah.
Which is odd, but it works really well.
Totally, man.
I've also been playing, I think in the past week I've played Rusty Hearts, but I'm not entirely sure when the servers went down, so I could be wrong about it.
It went down the day after the podcast that we did
so
last
I have
week,
played Rusty Hearts.
Because I downloaded it that night, and then the next day I was like, let's play this, and I checked my emails, and it was like, the Rusty Hearts beta is finished. We'll be beginning again on the 24th, which is right about now.
I thought it was the 26th.
It might have been the 26th.
Or the 25th. I think it's Wednesday. It's basically going to be Thursday morning for us in the UK. If you get in early, you get a free costume to use through the open beta.
Nice.
I've also been playing some Magicka.
I saw you playing some Magicka the other day, man. I saw it pop up on Steam.
It was great fun.
Did you get some multiplayer games in at last?
Yeah, I played with DJ Leroy and the Mighty Dave. They were sharing the computer, and it was great. Apart from one point when I kind of really got a bit stressy because I kept getting killed by Lee.
That's what Magicka's all about, man.
Yeah, but it's one of those bits where it's really quite tricky, and you need to work as a team and not electrocute each other.
Oh well.
And then we
I bet
got
you laughed at least once or twice.
Oh, I laughed at the loads. But yeah, we got to the stage where we just ended up just quitting because it was just ridiculous.
Fair play.
The two of us needed, more practice and to learn more spells and better aim.
Yeah.
It's that bit near the end where you go through loads of little mini battles and there's no save point.
The save points are a bit of a problem on there, aren't they, man?
Yeah.
Like, they're really far. They are the levels, basically.
Yeah, and we can have done with more people as well.
More people is always a bonus.
People in the chat room, I'm looking at you. And one other game, the little heard of on this podcast, StarCraft 2.
Would you believe it?
Which I got a couple of my friends to download the starter edition for free.
Yeah.
And it's really quite good. It restricts you to 5 maps. I think it also includes Star Jeweled in those 5 maps, and it gives you first few campaigns, first few levels on the campaign even. But for free, it's brilliant. So if you haven't got that and you want to play, the maps on it aren't that big, but it's still good fun, and it's a great way of getting you involved into possibly the best value game I've ever bought.
The best value game ever.
Yeah, because there's so much to it. All the community stuff, the RPG games in there, everything, the tower defense stuff. There's so much once you actually start delving into it.
It's much more than it appears to be, isn't it, man?
Oh, yeah, so much.
It's just amazing, man.
I've barely scratched the surface, and I'm thinking, I would have paid 50 quid for this, if not a bit more.
People
maybe
are complaining. I've said it before myself, man. People are complaining that it was more expensive than like a normal PC game, but I've had
so
way
much
more than that much more money worth from it. You know,
definitely,
just ridiculously. And
well, I was looking at my Raptor account, and it is nearly overtaking Call of Duty on my most games played.
Yeah, go down.
And I've had Black Ops a lot longer than I've had StarCraft 2.
That's very true as well, man. Which kind of leads us into the only other game that I've been playing this week, which is another RTS. Kind of, they have a different RTS, almost an MMO RTS, I would guess you could call it. Age of Empires Online, which, to be honest, seems pretty much the same as it did when I played it in the beta, which was a while back.
Did they try to sell you stuff?
Not entirely, man. Not to the point where it kind of got in my way, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The option is, of course, there.
I had a little go on it, actually. I forgot to mention it.
How did you find it, man? Because you played some of the beta too, right? If I remember right.
Yeah, it seemed very, very similar. Didn't seem like... I didn't really notice any changes.
No, me neither. I guess they're just balance changes, basically, that they've made, pretty much. The overall layout, the missions that you do at the beginning. Because it's kind of like... It's like at the beginning, it's like an MMO, but obviously RTS, where you're collecting quests, and you do a short quest at the beginning, and then when you complete that quest, you get awarded with like an item or something, like you would in an MMO RPG, and then you can kind of upgrade your town, and those upgrades then carry over into your other quests, which kind of puts you into a new map almost, if you could say. They're kind of like single player missions. But obviously, as you progress through, you can start playing with friends and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, being online, Age of Empires Online, it crosses over into that kind of thing, and it's pretty cool, man. Like it seems cool. It's very much simplified over Age of Empires, the proper games. But everything feels very similar. Like if you've played an Age of Empires game before, you will understand. It's got all the same systems in there, like the upgrade systems and the way you upgrade your town and stuff. It's all the same kind of way that you'd normally have in like your home page or your kind of start screen on a game. But that's kind of like the menu to the online portion, which it just feels like Age of Empires, man. Simplified a little, and I love the new art style. I think it looks great.
Yeah, it does, and with that art style, it also will run on everything, it being pretty much browser-based, isn't it?
Not far from it, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
It looks very nice indeed, with that art style. So yeah, you may as well go and check it out. It doesn't cost anything.
Do they have any limit on the amount of time you can play it? Because Rusty Hearts, which again has fantastic art style, they've got this system called, they call it PP, and you've got this bar that starts off with 1,000 points. And each time you do a mission, it goes down, and once it's empty, you've got to wait till the next day so you can play it more.
All right.
Do they do anything like that?
I haven't noticed anything like that, man. I haven't played any big sessions in a day to have noticed anything like that, but I haven't noticed anything like that. And I'm guessing that's just part of their beta. Although it's going to be free to play when it launches, right? So they may keep that kind of system.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like how League of Legends awards you more for the first time you play each day, kind of. I guess it's a way to make people play regularly rather than just once or twice. I don't know. We're going to see all sorts of innovations in this free-to-play marketplace, I believe, man.
Yeah, it's a fantastic bonus for the PC gaming
totally.
genre.
It's something that can't be done anywhere else. And as Razer are kind of arguing, I guess, with the open platform thing. People can just do what they want on the PC, and if they want to give stuff away free, they do. But that's all I've been playing this week, man. Was there anything else you wanted to add at all?
Rusty Hearts. I've already mentioned it, but it's fantastic. It is a lovely looking game. It's kind of like if you imagine anime and an MMO getting it on, that would be their child.
Works.
It's fantastic. It's brilliant fun. A little easy so far, but
a little easy.
Brilliant. Yeah, but then I'm only on like
Totally. It's
like,
the same with Age of
like level
Empires.
10 or something.
If you've ever played an RTS, the first few missions just seem ridiculous. Like, it's like grab your group of people and walk them to these 3 different places on the map. Yeah, it's like,
oh, you've leveled up.
Okay, I'll do that. It's like you can now build a harvester, and it's like, oh yeah, I thought it was strange. I couldn't do that before. You wanted to do it anyway.
The next task is build a harvester.
Exactly. That's pretty much how it works. But it's good fun once you get past that point anyway.
Yeah.
That's what we've been playing this week. Let's take a quick look and play that clip that I've got ready for
Hey.
what's coming out next week. What have we got incoming? So, incoming this week, we have a few games, a few things perhaps worth checking out as well. There's possibly always more than there normally is. We normally miss something, and then next week we'll be like, this came out last week, we didn't talk about it. But I can't think of anything that we missed last week. But this week we of course have Deus Ex Human Revolution, which I'm so hoping I can get my teeth into this week sometime, if I can find the time to do it. I certainly will be doing so.
I know I should be kind of excited about it, but I'm not.
Really? Why not, man?
I don't know. I just... I think it's because I'm saving up for Eurogamer.
Yeah.
So, it's not one of the... I wouldn't say it was a must-have title for me.
No, I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into it, like I say, man.
It's no Skyrim.
It's not quite. But then the original Deus Ex...
Well, yeah.
Game,
but
man.
then there's a game I'm looking forward to getting next month that a lot of people would think, why the hell's he getting that? And that's F1 2011. So we all have our own tastes.
I would like to play that too, man. I would like to play that too. But Deus Ex Human Revolution came out today, I think, in the States. And it still seems a little bit uncertain. A lot of places got it dated Friday.
Yeah.
For a physical release. However, for digital releases on the PC, it seems to be a little bit vague. There's a couple of sites like Gamersgate, for example, who sponsor us here, so go check them out. They're listing it as August, so it seems like they might be able to push it out as it's digital. They might be able to push it out a little bit early, I'm not sure. But I'm hoping to pick it up whenever we can get it over here and get a chance to play it, because I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And there's been some amazing reviews like 9s, 9.5s and stuff coming out today that I've noticed. So,
yeah, I've seen them, and it's kind of piqued my interest a little, but I need to keep my money.
I haven't really heard anything bad about it yet either, which is pretty rare. You normally hear somebody giving it rare review just to get a few hits. But,
we'll see what Yahtzee has to say about it next week, I guess. Oh no, he's in Australia. It'll be in about a month's time.
No, well, I'm sure he can pick you off pretty much almost game except for Portal. Also coming out this week, there's a little bit of Brink DLC if anybody's playing that one.
I'm sure Super Starlist will be up for that.
She'll love that one. It's the Fallout / Spec Ops Combat Pack. It came out today also. I think it's like £1, something like that. And I guess it's just gear to use on your character. Tropico 4 comes out at the end of the week on the 26th of August, which I believe is Friday. And
I played a bit of that.
You did play a bit of that. I believe you spoke about that on last week's show.
Yeah. It's a lot like Tropico 3.
You did say it looked like Tropico 3. I guess that makes sense in a way.
Well, indeed. But, almost completely Tropico 3 with some other buildings.
You didn't download the wrong demo now, did you, Dan?
No, I didn't. I made sure of that. And I'm not the only person to say that. The Mighty Dave, who was listening earlier, he mentioned it as well.
Just looking at the screenshots, I could kind of have it, I guess. That would be the case. Also coming out this week, which is something I would love to pick up, but I don't think I can afford to do it. If I had the money, I would definitely buy it, because this game I already own digitally, and that's Super Meat Boy. And there's the Super Meat Boy Ultra Edition, which is kind of a boxed nice copy. And then there's also Super Meat Boy Rare Edition. Both come out on the 26th of August, which is Friday, as I just mentioned. And the Rare Edition comes with a Super Meat Boy t-shirt, and it looks so cool, and I'd love to have it. But seeing as I've already got the game, I can't really justify going and buying it. And it is limited edition, so I don't know if I'll ever get one. I hope so. Maybe if I've got.
How limited is the edition?
They don't never say this, do they, man?
Yes, they do.
They occasionally do. I will admit they occasionally do. But
there's a sticker on that one there. It says how limited it is.
Okay.
It's Fallout New Vegas is number 6,724 of 8,950.
Okay, you got me. You got me. But most people don't ever say that, do they, Dan?
Well, no, you're right. Okay, I'm just being pedantic.
But Super Meat Boy Road Edition, it looks really, really cool. Like I said, there's probably something else coming out this week, but we'd like to keep you guessing a little. You know, I mean, we try and help a little, of course, but we don't want to be
Can't do everything.
overly helpful, you know. Exactly.
PC gamers, you don't need to hold you by the hand.
No, you've got browsers on those consoles. And talking of which, the PS3 browser. I'm a newbie when it comes to PS3. If anybody hasn't listened to previous shows, my brother's just picked one up because I wouldn't. And the browser is pretty bad. Although things like iPlayer and ITV Player and YouTube and stuff work very, very well. So you get a little bit, and you kind of lose a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't get any of that on the 360.
You don't. No, you don't. Nothing at all. Which is a bit silly, I guess. I would have thought there'd have been a version of Internet Explorer in there somewhere, man.
Next console, I imagine.
Yeah, I do reckon. Anyway, it's time for us to take another quick break now. That's, of course, what's coming out next week. When we come back, if you haven't answered yet, get to ironhammers.org, because we will be answering our question of the week, or you guys, I guess, will be answering our question of the week. Wondering just what our Razer are playing at the moment. So, in around about 4 minutes or so, we'll be right back. See if you can guess another song here by Van Gogh. See if you can guess what video game it's from. Somebody has to get this one. If they don't, I'll be disappointed. We'll see you very shortly. Okay, everybody, welcome back, guys. How was that? I see everybody scrambled to guess that one right in the chat room. Everybody seemed to know what it was. Dan, you had a good guess. What was that from?
Yeah, well, I think I got it within the first bar.
I think you
beat
did.
everyone else to it, and it was Sonic.
Yeah, it was indeed from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Green Hill. So,
Yeah.
nice. It's an awesome.
So I win a free copy of Team Fortress 2.
All yours, man. All yours.
Which I've already got, so I'll pass it on to Super Starless.
Congratulations to everybody out there who did get it right. Because there was a few of you for that one, which I thought there might be. So, I think it's about time for our final part of the show and to answer our question of the week. Let's play that tune. The rather mysterious sound there going on. I love it. I love it. Our question of the week this week, guys. A few people have answered in our comments. We, of course, were asking you, what do you think is going on with Razer, with their weird PC gaming is not dead thing that's come about? And what would you ultimately love it to be if it could be absolutely anything? Dan, would you like to take the first comment?
Yeah, the first one is from our good old friend Coot. And he said, I see it just as advertising. They'll probably have a deal with a game to have their name on there. I bet they bring out a new keyboard and mouse to promote it.
You almost conveyed the enthusiasm in the comment.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Big Man Griff says it's the Switchback. I think he means the Switchblade, but we'll let him off. At least I hope like hell it is. It's the only thing that makes sense. There are people at work willing to get rid of their gaming rigs for it. What? Are those people crazy people?
Yeah.
What does Link say, Dan?
Link Gooding. No relation to me, at least.
He's my little brother. He's my brother.
He said they're going to announce they're going to make PS3 controllers, I hope.
They've made an Xbox one.
Yeah, but I can't see why they'd be...
It would be PS3
going about
gaming,
PC gaming.
Who knows? Our buddy from Twitter, Fodder, which is F0DD3R. Check him out on Twitter. He says, this sounded really promising at first, but as the days pass, it just looks like it's a big marketing stunt for their new Switchblade. And a comment from the one and only Simon the Diamond Ivanov, who's joined us in the chat room tonight. What did he have to say, Dan?
He says, I agree with Big Man Griff. I think they'll use their new gaming handheld PC as a launchpad to announce a new line of gaming laptops and PCs. If Dell and Asus can do it, why not Razer? By the way, that Switchblade looks damn amazing.
Well, can you imagine if they've partnered with somebody, like how Alienware partnered with Dell, for example?
Yeah, I lost all respect for Alienware when they did that.
Well, yeah, but imagine if Razer had partnered with somebody and they have a line
HP.
of... Perhaps.
Perhaps
they have a
Google
line,
with their Motorola.
a line of gaming laptops and not necessarily desktops, but I mean they would work also. But a line of gaming laptops with like Razer keyboards and mice which are somehow built in or something. Who knows, with that weird thing going on with the Switchblade, it could be something along those lines. But like I said at the top of the show when we were first talking about this, they said they can liken it to the Switchblade, and maybe I'm being really, really optimistic here, which I probably am. I think there could be something else. Nobody really said if it could be anything, what they would really love it to be. If it's not the Switchblade, I'm hoping that it's not just the Switchblade, and I'm also hoping that it's not just the Switchblade and like a new mouse or something. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Or a map.
What would you like? Yeah, a mouse mat. What would you like it to be if it could be anything, Dan?
If it could be anything, I'd love it to be a budget game that came free, that had bundled with it an awesome gaming rig.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
because that would get a hell of a lot more PC gamers.
It certainly would, man. It certainly would. For me, I'm hoping the way they're telling everybody to unite and kind of show everybody that PC gaming is not dead. I would love it if they'd got a partnership with like a few publishers or something, and perhaps as Koo said, they'll make a line. I mean, they've been making quite a bit of EA stuff lately. They've announced a line of Battlefield stuff. Maybe if they partnered with EA, I don't know, with the whole Origin thing, we'll put that behind us for a moment. If they had a partnership with say 4 or 5 different publishers and they were going to not only release a lineup of games, to a lineup of peripherals to which were branded with those publishers' game logos and stuff, but to also have some sort of alliance with those publishers that they will kind of put the PC first when they develop a game. That's what I would like. And yes, Dan, the look that you're giving me there, I'm a crazy man, I know. I'm absolutely fucking crazy. But I did say if it could be anything. So that would be my wish. It would be really cool if that happened. I'm not sure it will be. I'm sure it's just another product or something. But I'd love to think that it was something bigger. I guess we'll find out on Friday at 6 p.m. local time, wherever PAX Prime is, in Seattle, I believe.
It's a bad time for PC gamers, though, man. They're selling SteelSeries products in Tesco's.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they priced well?
That fairly large mouse mat they do, I think, was about 15 quid.
Oh, the prices seem about right, man.
Yeah.
Not necessarily cheap, but right. Not.
It wasn't the right size to fit on my kind of keyboard tray, unfortunately. I don't seem to do one.
Yeah, see, mine is absolutely huge. I would pick it up, but it's kind of like not only a mouse mat, but it kind of becomes like a coaster when I'm sitting at my desk. So it's kind of covered in bottles and things.
Yeah, well, I need one to cover my... it's kind of like a bookshelf-sized drawer that I've made. That just perfectly fits my keyboard and mouse.
There is the Razer extended
and mugs
thing.
and my PSP and my ashtray and
all the good stuff that you need at hand when you're playing games on a PC.
Exactly.
If only I had a fridge.
Now
Maybe
my
that's
house
what
is
it could
so
be.
cold, I don't need a
maybe
fridge.
one of the people out there who commented is actually just dreaming that they have a refrigerated mouse mat. That's going to be the revolution in PC gaming, because Microsoft won't let it happen because of their closed platform. We're going to have a refrigerated mouse mat. I don't know. We can but speculate, but on Friday we will of course find out. But that pretty much brings us to the end of the show this week, I'm afraid, guys. So first up, I just want to say cheers for hanging around at the beginning of the show, because we were a little unprepared. I mean, we're normally a little bit late, I can attest to that. Well, I'm normally a little bit late. Alright, Dan, alright. I'm a little bit late.
Oh, it's that way, bollocks!
Yeah, you were pointing the wrong way. But I was even more late this time. I'll try and be on time next time, but thanks for sticking around. And then I'd also like to go on and mention Extra Life. My mind went blank there. I couldn't remember what it was for. It was like charity event, something's happening.
Yeah,
what
we're
is
doing
it?
something for that, aren't we?
We are doing something. Extra Life, of course. You guys out there can donate a little bit of money, whether it just be £1, whether it be £100.
Yeah.
I don't mind. But me and Dan will both be playing games for 24 hours. We're not sure on the exact date because we're doing it as a little team kind of thing, and we're going to hopefully try and stream it. I mean, perhaps we could even have this stream running as it is now, with us kind of just sitting here chatting on Skype and both playing games for 24 hours. It might not be very exciting to watch, but
I'll be doing it for 48.
it'll be proof.
Over 2 weekends.
That was what I was going to say. Because some of the guys on our team are going to do it the weekend after because they have to work or whatever the first weekend. Me and Dan are hopefully going to do it. Dan definitely is. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do it 2 weekends in a row and try and raise a little bit of extra money there. So over 2 weeks we'll be doing 48 hours of gaming, 2 24-hour stints. So if you'd like to donate, head on over to charity.ironhammers.org and donate some money, which will go to our local Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
Yeah,
Worthwhile,
I've had my first sponsor, the wonderful, fantastic Superstarless. So thank you ever so much. 1,000 thank yous.
And 1,000 thank yous to the first person that goes and donates to me, because I haven't had anybody yet and I'm feeling pretty sad about it. And it's a good cause, man. It's a good cause. Yeah. Definitely go and do it. charity.ironhammers.org. And
I think you're doing the same hospital I'm doing, which is the Royal Children's Hospital in Bristol.
In Bristol.
So if you happen to live in Bristol and are thinking about possibly starting a family in the near future, you know, you wouldn't want something to happen to them and not maybe be able to take them to that hospital and get them fixed. So you donate now.
Exactly, and they do great stuff at that
I'm looking at you.
For people that are actually, like, not necessarily just in Bristol either. I mean, I'm sure there's a wide range in that area of sick kids that go to that hospital. So
it does the whole southwest of England.
Exactly. So that's a great cause.
the rest of England as well.
So after promoting the real important thing, let's go on and promote the second most important thing, Dan, and that is you. Where can people find you?
You can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet under the name Hardly Dan.
You can, and I've even put it on the screen, and I'm pointing the right way, Dan.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? I'm going to use both fingers and say it's about there.
Can't get it
I
wrong.
can't see what I'm doing because of the delay in the stream.
Yes.
And yeah, I was wrong. And no, I'm not on RedTube.
Oh, the chat room does it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, you can find me pretty much anywhere on that. Twitter, Steam, Games for Windows Live, Xbox 360, PSN when I finally get a PlayStation 3. Yeah, I am on Pornhub.
Hardly Dan on there too, probably. And if
Lee, Dan. Me and Lee, we get it on every Friday night.
Oh man, brilliant. If you want to find me, I'm not sure you'll find me over there. Not at least under my usual alias. My name is Bobby Gooden, of course. Search that, you'll probably find a little bit about me. You can find me on Twitter. My name is on there is Ironhammers. Twitter.com/Ironhammers. Facebook.com/Ironhammer5 because my S is fucking gone. And I'll give it 3 more episodes, Dan. Count them, 3 more episodes. I'm not going to mention the S anymore. Facebook.com/Ironhammer5. YouTube.com/IronhammersTV over there. iTunes.ironhammers.org if you'd like to subscribe with an iPod or an iPhone or a desktop computer.
Just leave a review.
Maybe a Macintosh. If you're that posh. You're watching the wrong show if you've got one of those. iTunes.ironhammers.org. Leave a review.
There's a few Steam games they can play.
There's a few Steam games, but it's not the same, trust me.
Twitch. Not enough mouse buttons.
No, exactly. Twitch.tv/Ironhammers is right here where we are now, streaming live. You can join us here every Tuesday at around about 11 o'clock at night. That's pretty summertime at the moment. And of course, come and check out the website, ironhammers.org. It's a pretty cool site, I think. Lots of PC gaming news, reviews, a lot more features coming up. We've got an interesting feature coming up at the end of the week, or perhaps early next week, about the state of free-to-play games and what they could do for PC gaming, which is something that we briefly kind of mentioned in the show. We've had a new writer, Yannick, join us. He's done a couple of reviews. You can go check those out also. And that's a kind of interesting article. And we're going to try and kind of bring more on that stuff. I mean, everybody wants to know the latest news, and that's the thing that I try and cover as much as I can, because people kind of want to know what's happening. And my ideal would be to provide them with the one and only place to go and get that stuff. But a lot more features and things like that coming up soon, so check all those things out I just read. If you've forgotten any of them, then if you listen to the recorded version, there's no excuse. Just go back 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and listen to them again. No excuse whatsoever. But apart from that, I will thank you guys for listening live. Thank you guys for listening to the recorded show, and thank Mr. Hardly Dan for joining me as always. And come back next Tuesday, not just Dan, but all everybody. Because, as I said at the beginning, we'll have Tyler on, and he'll be talking all about his experiences at PAX Prime. Hopefully he's going to get his hands on quite a few new up-and-coming games ahead of what we were.
Possibly Felicia Day.
If you got our hands on that, that would be... I'm sure he probably wouldn't complain.
Nothing about redheads.
But I think we'll leave it... You're not the only one. We'll leave it there, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks once again. Duke, what time is it?
Game over.